Your dog has been trying to tell you something. Not with barking. Not with whining. Quietly. Patiently. In ways so subtle that most owners walk right past them every single day. And here is the hard truth: when a dog runs out of ways to ask for help, they stop asking altogether. What happens then is something every dog owner needs to understand. Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you will never look at your dog the same way again. Welcome to Paws Chronicles. Today, we are uncovering 7 signs your dog is secretly asking for help right now, and one of them, sign number 7, is so heartbreaking and so easy to miss that it genuinely changes how you see your relationship with your dog forever. Stay until the end. You will be glad you did. You have seen your dog lick their lips 100 times. Maybe you thought they were remembering their last meal, or just doing that little dog thing they always do. But back in 1997, a Norwegian dog behaviorist named Turid Rugas published something that quietly changed the way scientists and trainers understand dogs forever. After years of studying hundreds of dogs, she documented what she called calming signals, a hidden vocabulary dogs use to communicate distress, discomfort, and the need for relief. And lip licking with no food present? It sits right at the top of that list. Your dog is not thinking about dinner. They are telling you, as clearly as they know how, that they are uncomfortable, anxious, or quietly overwhelmed by what is happening around them. When your dog licks their lips in a crowded room, during a tense moment at home, or while you are raising your voice, they are doing everything in their power to self-soothe and ask for the tension to stop. Think about the last time you saw your dog do this. You may have completely missed what they were saying. And that is not your fault, nobody ever told you. But now you know. Now you can listen. And if you thought that one was surprising, the next sign is something your dog does every single morning, and almost every owner gets it completely wrong. You lean in for a cuddle. You bring your face close to your dog's. And right at that moment, your dog yawns. You probably laughed and thought, wow, am I that boring? But in 2013, researchers Teresa Romero, Akiko Kano, and Toshikazu Hasegawa at the University of Tokyo published a study that revealed something fascinating. Dogs yawn in direct response to emotional and social pressure, not just tiredness. Their work showed that yawning in dogs is deeply tied to how they process stress from the people they love most. Rugas had described it years earlier: a yawn during a moment of close physical contact is not your dog being sleepy. It is your dog asking, very politely, for a little space. They are not rejecting you. They are trusting you enough to communicate instead of pulling away. That is the sign of a deeply secure dog who still believes you will listen. Starting today, when your dog yawns close to you, take one small step back. Give them a moment. Watch how their whole body relaxes. That relaxation is your dog saying thank you. Now here is where things get really interesting, because this next sign is one your dog is probably doing to you right now, and most people interpret it as the exact opposite of what it really means. You call your dog's name. You look right at them. And they slowly, deliberately turn their head away. Maybe you felt a flicker of hurt. Maybe you thought they were distracted. What you probably did not think was, my dog is trying to calm me down right now. But that is exactly what the science tells us is happening. In a 2017 study published in Applied Animal Behavior Science, researchers Fernks, Bartels, Baidoli, and Earhart confirmed what Rugas had observed for decades, that dogs use gaze aversion and head turning specifically as a way to de-escalate social tension with humans. When your dog looks away from you, they are not ignoring you. They are doing something remarkably thoughtful. They are trying to bring the emotional temperature down. That is not defiance, that is diplomacy. If your dog does this regularly, especially when you are stressed or speaking sharply, they are picking up on your energy and doing everything in their small, graceful power to soothe it. They are helping you, without you even knowing they were trying. But what we are about to cover next is something entirely different, a sign so tied to your dog's need for emotional safety that it will completely change the way you stand in a room with them. In 1998, researchers Joseph Topol, Marta Gaxi, and Adam Miklosi at the Hungarian Academy of Sciences applied Bowlby's landmark attachment theory, originally developed to understand the bond between human infants and their caregivers, directly to dogs. What they found was remarkable. Dogs form the same kind of secure base attachment to their owners that children form with their parents. And one of the clearest expressions of that bond is physical proximity under stress. When your dog presses their back or side into your legs and holds there, they are not just seeking warmth. They are using you as their secure base, their anchor against a world that feels uncertain in that moment. They are facing outward, watching what concerns them, while trusting you completely with their most vulnerable side. In the canine world, you do not show your back to something you fear. You show it to something that makes you feel safe. If your dog does this during a thunderstorm, around strangers, or in a new place, they are asking one thing of you: stay. Simply be there. That presence is everything to them. And this next one? It completely changes the way you will see something your dog does with their paws, probably every single day. Your dog walks over quietly. No barking. No toy in their mouth. They just lay one paw, gently, on your knee or your arm. And then they look at you. You probably scratched their ear and went back to what you were doing. But that paw was a full sentence. Researcher Adam McCloskey and his colleague Christina Soproni, whose groundbreaking work in 2006 examined how dogs communicate with humans, found that dogs are uniquely capable among animals of using deliberate physical gestures to redirect human attention, and that they do so most frequently when they are experiencing internal stress or sensing that their owner has emotionally withdrawn. Your dog does not have words. So they reach out and touch you instead. That paw is not about wanting a treat. Sometimes it is simply asking you to come back, to be present, to look at them, to reconnect. The next time it happens, stop what you are doing. Make eye contact. Let them know you felt it. Because they meant every bit of it. Now here is the sign that surprises people the most, because it looks exactly like happiness. But it is not always what it seems. A wagging tail means a happy dog. That is what everyone believes. That is what you grew up thinking. But in 2007, neuroscientists Giorgio Valortigara and Angelo Quaranta published a study in Current Biology that fundamentally changed how researchers understand tail wagging. They discovered that the direction and quality of the wag carries completely different emotional meanings, and that a stiff, high, slow wag is not happiness at all. It is a sign of arousal, alertness, and stress. A wide, loose wag where your dog's whole back end swings, that is joy. That is the real happy wag. But a rigid spine, a tight jaw, weight shifting forward, and a slow deliberate tail movement? That is a dog on high alert, asking you urgently to notice that something is wrong. It could be a stranger, another animal, a sound, something that has them internally on edge while the surface looks deceptively calm. Learning to read the whole body, not just the tail, might be one of the most important things you ever do for your dog. Because your dog cannot tell you in words when the line between discomfort and reaction is getting dangerously thin. They are showing you. Every single time. But none of the signs we have covered today come close to what I saved for last. The final sign is something your dog does that most owners mistake for a personality trait. It is not. And understanding it will break your heart open in the best possible way. Do you have a dog who is just quiet? A dog that never demands much. A dog that does not bark when you leave, does not beg, does not jump. A dog you have always described as easy, calm, low maintenance. Pause, I want you to sit with this for a moment. Because what I am about to share with you may reframe something you have believed about your dog for years. In 1967, psychologists Martin Seligman and Stephen Meyer at the University of Pennsylvania published one of the most important, and most sobering, studies in behavioral science. They called it learned helplessness. What they found was that when a living being repeatedly tries to signal a need and receives no response, they do not keep trying forever. They stop. They go quiet. They shut down entirely. And from the outside, that shutdown can look exactly like a calm, easy, uncomplicated temperament. If your dog is very quiet, very still, very compliant, please do not assume they are always fine. Watch for flat body posture. A loss of enthusiasm for things they used to love. Eyes that look soft but faintly absent. These are not personality traits. These are the quiet footprints of a dog who tried, again and again, to ask for help, and gradually stopped believing that anyone would hear them. But here is what Seligman also found: learned helplessness is not permanent. It can be undone. You can still hear your dog. You can start watching for every signal in this video. You can be the person who finally answers. And the moment your dog realizes you are truly listening, that you actually see them, the change in them will be one of the most profound things you will ever witness. Your dog has been speaking to you this whole time. In lip licks and yawns, in a paw on your knee and a back pressed into your legs, in every signal they trusted you enough to send. Now you can hear all of it. Tell me in the comments, which of these 7 signs does your dog do most? I read every single one. If this video helped you understand your dog a little more deeply, please subscribe to Paws Chronicles and share it with someone who loves their dog the way you love yours. And if you want to go even deeper, our next video covers something even more surprising: what your dog is actually feeling when you come home. See you there.